Thank you for joining us today. If you're watching this video, you either purchased a transom from GasHopper or you're looking to install one yourself. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. You can choose from either one of these two glues, and this is the list of tools that you're going to need. Let's get started now. As you can see, the areas that we've delaminated from when we removed the transom. Now we're just inspecting the areas to see what's got to be cleaned up, removing all the dirt and getting those little staples out. Remember, a clean surface is key to making this glue adhere properly. So let's vacuum away all this dirt, wipe down the areas with MEK or acetone, sand whatever needs to be done, and let's get gluing. Wipe down the transom to remove any oils and grease. Now let's mix up our first batch of glue. The glue we're using today is Stay-On, provided by Mercury Marine. Let's start applying our glue into the channel right where you're going to be putting the transom. Make sure you follow the manufacturer's specification for drying time between each layer. I recommend 3 to 4 layers. Make sure you get the glue into all the crevice and everything right where you're putting the transom. Make sure you put even coats on the transom as well. And make sure right when you start to apply the transom to the floor, make sure it's straight in center so you don't have any issues down the road. Now that we have the transom fitted to the floor, let's start applying the glue to the sides of the transom and the inner channels of the tubes where the transom is going to be fitted. Now comes the fun part, trying to fit the tubes to the transom. As you can see, I'm starting at the bottom there, and I'm working my way up until I get a nice good bond. Once you're satisfied with the bond, inflate the tubes, use your ratchet straps, and make it as tight as possible so you get a nice good seal and a nice good bond with the glue. Also, take your clamps and clamp the corners. Now with the excess glue I have, I'm just going to work on the inner channels of the tube there to get all the fabric so it's all nice and secured to the transom. Now with your roller tool, you're going to press the fabric against the transom as hard as possible to create a nice good bond. After a night of curing, we're going to start mixing up our next batch of glue. We're going to now start to glue the lower portion of the floor to the back of the transom. Once you finish doing the back of the transom there, we're going to start working our way over onto the front of the transom. And we're going to fill in all the little crevices that we're going to be sealing. And as you can see, we've got our vice grips holding the fabric back so we can get the glue in where we need to get it. With your plastic wedge tool, we're going to start now applying the floor to the back of the transom. Key to this is starting from the center and working your way out. Putting as much pressure as possible with the wedge tool is also key to get a nice good bond. Once you're satisfied with the results with the wedge tool, now go in with your hard metal roller and give as much pressure as you can on the corners and the edges to give that extra bond so you don't have an issue. Alright, let's move to the front of the transom. Now with a little bit of glue, we're just going to touch up the inner corners at the top. And remember, it's key when applying pressure to the floor to the transom to get a nice good bond. Now let's use the remainder of the glue to apply to the inner tops of the fabric pieces that's gluing to the transom there. Alright, we're on our final day of gluing now. As you can see, we're now using Hypalon glue this time. The reason for this is because the boat is a Hypalon boat, and we're down to the last little bit, which is just the Hypalon fabric. We're going to turn the boat over and start gluing the bottom pieces that need to be bonded. A little trick for you: if you've got a little bit of glue that's got off to the side, use your finger and roll it off before it cures. Now we're going to start drilling the drain plugs for the transom. You're going to start off with your center holes on the outside, and then on the inside we're going to use our drill and do our center holes again, but this time lining them up to the holes that you drilled on the outside. This creates a perfect hole every time. With marine silicone, we're going to give those holes we drilled a nice good coating. We're going to also go over to the baler caps and give them a nice good coating as well and fit them inside the holes. Once you've got them both in there, we're going to grab our rubber mallet and give them a couple little taps. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Wipe away any excess. And you've got a perfectly installed transom. Thank you for watching.